All right, so lesson 4 is the lasso tool in Photoshop. So we did the rectangular marquee. We've done the elliptical marquee selection tools. Now we're using what's called the lasso tool. And we're going to basically cut these shaking hands out. I was going to show you the end. And then we're going to paste it on a city view. The city, we have a different city. I actually picked the city of Houston. So we're going to paste it on the city of Houston. So this one does have 2 images. We kind of only work with this one, though. And we just paste it onto this one. So there's not much we do with this one. We are going to download both of them. Save link as. Right click. Oh, I'm in actually. Sorry. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and open up Photoshop. Load those 2 in. Go. All right. So we've done these 2 tools. We're going to skip these. We're not going to do these. We're going to pick the lasso tool. So if it's on something else, just click and hold and get the circle lasso. Okay. So what the lasso tool is basically you lasso and it selects what you select what you have lassoed, circle basically. So I click and drag, and then I let go, and it connects the beginning point and the end point like that, and it selects it that way. So the process is what I do with the lasso tool, if I use the lasso tool, is I actually select the whole, because I just want to cut the hands out. I do like a big selection that includes everything, but it's not really like precise. And then let go. So I basically have the hand selected. Now, if I copied it, obviously I'd have a bunch of this blue stuff, which you don't want. So the way to fix that is I zoom in. To zoom in, I hold down the Alt key and use the scroll wheel on the mouse. To move around on the screen, I hold down the space bar, and it turns into a little hand icon, which you can't see because you only see the pink arrow. And I click and drag, and I can move around the image. Okay. So once I select a big selection of the image, I take the lasso tool. I go up here and I select subtract from selection. So now instead of adding to it or creating a new one, I want to subtract from the selection. And notice, well, you can't see, but the lasso tool now has a minus sign next to it to say that I'm subtracting from the selection. And then what I do is I start outside the picture and kind of loop my way in and then loop my way out like that. And then I just kind of work around the image like that. If you ever paint it, I don't know if you've ever painted, it's like cutting in on painting. Yeah, it's like cutting in on the edge on the wall with a paintbrush. So that's kind of what I do. So basically I'm just subtracting. If I accidentally subtract too much like that, I go back up here and do, where is it? This one, add to selection, which is the second button. And then I do it basically the opposite. I select back in like that. So it does take a little practice. It does take a lot of kind of fine motor control of your mouse. If you need to zoom in more, if you're like, man, I can't do this, my hand's too shaky, zoom in more. It's easier to get a better selection. And do make sure that you kind of complete the circle like that every time. Because otherwise, if you just do a straight line, it's not going to do it. So you got to make sure you circle back around. Again, you can use the bars here to scroll back and forth, or you can hold down space, drag. Okay. I'm going to zoom out in a second and just do it really quick. So you can spend a lot of time getting really good selections. I'm just going to do it quick. I'm going to do a sloppy selection just so I can show you the cutting and pasting, which we've done before, but just want to do it real quick. You can go outside of the canvas here, so feel free to do that. It's not going to mess anything up. So the lasso tool is really good for very organic, smooth. It's actually probably one of the more precise tools that we use, but it takes longer. But if you have something that's very curvy, the lasso tool is a really good tool for that. The next tool we're going to learn is the polygon lasso, which is very good for like straight edges. So if you're trying to cut a building out or something like that. Sorry, I'm taking two. I'll just do it. I know y'all want to get to the lab. So when you do the cutting, this bottom part will be better than mine for sure. But once you have it selected, edit, copy, go to the Houston skyline, edit, paste. And then you can move it around wherever you want to move it. Okay. So the top doesn't look too bad. The bottom obviously looks terrible, but so that's selection. So it's pretty good. I mean, except the bottom, which I went way too fast on. And even like on the top, so say you did this and you're like, well, I don't really, I can see the blue here and it bothers you. You can go to the eraser, adjust the size up here, something small, and just kind of erase. Make sure you're on the layer one. Let me change I was messing with them. Then you kind of erase the lines there. So you can get in there and clean it up if you want to, if it bothers you. It is a lot of work. So when someone Photoshops something, they'll spend hours Photoshopping one photo and to make it look really good. So again, you don't have to do this, but if it bothers you that there's a blue line there, which it does bother some of us, it bothers me. But so you can also clean it up with the eraser. It's just a good tool just to kind of clean up the spots that look bad. That's it. That's true. All right.